Greetings, my fellow eagles and the entire world. This is Eagle Emmanuel Mensah with inspirations and guidance and assistance from Eagle Helen Mensah in the unseen world, coming into your homes and your minds with a message of empowerment and enlightenment. Today is the 31st of May in the year 2024. And the Bible says this is the day the Lord has made, and therefore we should rejoice and be glad in it. And for that matter, I take this opportunity to invite you to join me to give thanks to God for this beautiful and wonderful day that He has granted unto us. And life in general, life is beautiful, life is wonderful, life is glorious, life is God Himself, flowing through all things, including mankind. Today, I'm going to speak to you on the topic, nothing is fated, all is by attraction. I repeat, nothing in a person's life is by fate or fated, but it is by attraction. We are living in a universe that is based on attraction. We are in a vibrational universe. And therefore, whatever thing that comes into a person's life is not caused by any other person outside him or any other force outside him, except the person's own internal arrangement or reactions or situation that causes the law of attraction to bring those things into his or her life. And therefore, you attract things into your life, but not that there is a fate or that is you are born with it. It is by our choices what we choose to think. And so today, I'm going to explain to you how this works. And as a human being, you are a thinking center. So you are in this world and you have a mind. And the only thing that you do, so as long as or in as much as you are alive, you are awake in your life, is to think. You see things, you observe things with your five senses. And what you do is to process whatever your five senses are feeding or giving to you. And that is thinking. You are processing all these things and making choices, making decisions. That is how you operate. You cannot stop but to think. The only time that you are not thinking as a human being in a physical body is when you have transitioned. You are no more in the physical world. But so long as you are alive and you are conscious, you are thinking. And your thinking, as I've already explained, you are the extension of a very powerful force. You can call this force God, you can call this force universal energy, you can call this force source. It doesn't matter the name you give to it, but that is the arrangement. That is who you are. That is who we are, where we came from. We have this direct relationship with this presence, this force. And therefore, we are every day in partnership with this force. It is this presence, or let me say, it is God, that individual himself, God as a spirit, individual himself into you with an earthly body. But you have never been separated from this presence. You have never been separated from God. Because God is the source of all things. And therefore, God in the spiritual or non-physical world thinks. And you, God, the extension of God in the physical also thinks. But for there to be harmony, for there to be complete union between these two halves of you, you must agree in thinking, in thought. But by default, God is pure, holy, and therefore, God has no concept of negativity. God has no concept of anything other than pure and positive. And so, as we are surrounded by physical things, we are observing whatever things that are going around us, we are supposed to think over them in a positive way. But, however, whatever choice that you will make in terms of thinking, either positive or negative, becomes your point of attraction. And your point of attraction becomes your point of attraction in the sense that what you are thinking and what your inner being or God is thinking creates your emotions. And it is your emotions that becomes the point of attraction. That is what the law of attraction takes and then arrange things in the universe such that they will become part of your creation. They become corporate components of your creation process. And then they bring all these things into your life. Then it becomes your reality. And so there is nothing as fate. As I'm speaking to you, there are a lot of things that are going through your body. There are a lot of things that we do, we react to in the split seconds. We don't think about those things. Do we actually have to know or see this to believe? No. But we know. When it comes, you instinctively react to it because that is who you are. And in the same way, you are every day, by your choices of thoughts, emitting emotions, negative or positive. And it is these emotions that becomes your vibrational offering or your vibrational offering that you are putting into the universe. And it is based on this offering that the law of attraction takes and arrange all the corporate components in your life. And therefore, once you think, you begin the creation process. And it is by attraction. The law of attraction comes in. And then it places you, arranges all the people, all situations that are on the same vibrational point or vibrational level as yours. And it brings all of them together. It brings you and all these people and circumstances together. Then your creation is completed. You do not have to know this, but that is who you are. That is who you are. A lot of people have lived and moved on without knowing that there is blood that is circulating through our body. And this blood is actually from one point to the other. They didn't actually know it scientifically as we know, but it was the reality. So as we move about, we go about, it is a matter of mistake and evidence of ignorance for any human being to come to the understanding or to come to a point that his life circumstances, his life challenges are the work of other forces, or it is his fate. You resign to your fate and say that that is how God has created you. That is who you are. No, that is not true. Or maybe it is from your family line. It's just that you've been cursed. No, that is not true. There is nothing like curse. There is nothing like anything working against you. And if there is anything that working against you, then that is your own self by your own choices. And the law of attraction is constant. And so this is how the whole thing works. You have your inner being. And whenever you are confronted with a contrast, life situation, life challenge, the automatic reaction of you is to desire the opposite of the situation, which is the solution. And your inner being, which is God, automatically becomes that solution that you desire. You don't even have to say it, but it is your feeling. Whatever situation that you go through, you feel the opposite. If it is bad, you feel the opposite of it, and that is the solution or the answer to the problem. And so as soon as you go into that feeling, you go to that mood, then your inner being automatically, or God automatically becomes that. It's expansion. We are evolving, and that is why he said we are evolving beings. So as soon as your inner being or God becomes that, then it is your responsibility to think and be in alignment with God or your inner being, such that you become one with what your inner being has become. And that is you evolving alongside the evolution of the Spirit of God or the inner being. But since we are here, if you don't, then it means you more or less, we don't separate ourselves from God, but we distort the relationship, the link or the arrangement between us and God as far as this process is concerned. And therefore, you put yourself on a different vibration. That is negatively. God does not have negativity. And therefore, once you begin to think in the negative, you put yourself in the negative vibration, which is a discord that you are creating yourself. You are the one creating it. It is not the work of a devil. It is not the work of a demon, but it is because of your choices. Because the absence of a good thing must create a bad thing. The absence of one thing must lead to the other. So once you are not in alignment, you are not on the wavelength with your inner being to become what he or that part of you has already become, then the opposite must come into your life. And so you see that negativity create negativity. Positivity create positivity. And that is when we become one with God. And so the law of attraction, look at the vibration you are putting into the system. And then matches you with all those that are alike. And then you see all these situations and people appearing in your life. Nothing is happening in your life without passing through this process. You are the creator. You are the creator of your own reality. And it is true. So it is about time that we become awakened to this. And then we begin to work or conduct our life along the lines of the law. The law of attraction is static. And therefore, it never changes. The laws of the universe are static. They don't change. If the laws of the universe are to change, then one day we'll wake up to see ourselves floating like those who go into space. Or we'll see us walking on our heads with our legs upside. Why? Because the law of gravity is broken. It's no more working. But nothing of that has ever happened. Every law that existed is still the same. The law, the forces that keeps the planet, all the 9 planets in their orbit, that they spin within the same proximity at the same speed. Each one there has never been a discord in the operation of each of them. It's the same law that is governing you and me. And therefore, we are only to present ourselves in a way that the law will organize the right things in our life. So when you are in tune with God, when you are one with God, when you are aligned with God or your inner being, whatever desire, whatever thing that you have desired, your inner being becomes it automatically. And once you are in tune, these things flows into your outer experience because you are the extension of that being or your inner being or God. And so this is how we create our own reality. So you see that even especially those of us in the religious circles, we tend to wonder why people we call unbelievers are getting whatever they want. They are prospering, and we those that sleep in church buildings, do all these things, we are suffering. Yes, the universe does not respond to what we thought, what we say, our words, but the universe responds to our emotions, our feelings. So it doesn't matter that the unbeliever and believer thing that we are. It is our own classification, but the laws of the universe respond to every one of us in the same way. So if you think someone is an unbeliever, but the person has found a way to bring himself in alignment, joy and happiness, he finds a way to keep him or herself at a point that he is always in contact with inner being. That person, wherever you see him, will get all that he wants in his life because he is in tune, he's aligned with himself or the forces in the universe. And therefore, the law of attraction arrange all these things before the person, and the person only adapt to it or just allow it to flow it into his life. Then, if you call yourself a believer or whatever you call yourself, but you are going against this law, then you won't get anything. So you see that the only consolation that those of us in the religious circles have is the promise of a heaven that we don't even know whether it exists. But if you are to go to heaven, then you must see the evidence of it here. The very God that you are going to heaven to enjoy with is the same God that you are appealing to here. So if God is not giving you your basic necessities, the things that you need to make your life comfortable on this earth, then it is the evidence that you are more or less outside the gates of heaven, if that heaven exists. And so this is the time that we have to wake up that whatever you are going through, Whatever situation that will come into your life is not by faith, or it is not by the work of any other force, but it is by attraction per your thinking and your feeling. Your thinking and the thinking of your God or your inner being, your higher self, agrees. When they agree, you have this good feeling. You have everything happening in your life as it's supposed to be, because you have the omnipotent arranging your work for you. But if you think in the negative, then you separate yourself, so to speak, from the omnipotent. Therefore, you are on your own. And what you get is pain, suffering, and all these kind of things. And so we only have to come to this understanding that nothing is by faith, and no one is cursed. No one is under attack of any other man, but we are attracting situations and circumstances into our life by the law of attraction. And the essence of the law of attraction says that which is unto itself is drawn. The law of attraction simply says like attract like. And so birds of the same feather flock together. You see, so you can never be this and find other or the opposite in your life. If you go to any place, whatever you are, whoever you are, that is the kind of people you're going to meet. They will come into your life naturally. You don't ask for it. This is by the work of attraction. We are being arranged, we are being paid based on what we feel, what we think and feel, based on the vibrational point that we are operating, based on the wavelength. And as I have used it in one of my episodes, it is just like the radio station or the TV station. You can never tune in into one station one and begin to listen to or enjoy what is happening on station 2. You have to be on station 2. You can never be on the 2 unless you have 2 sets of TV boxes. But if so long as you are watching only one TV box or you are listening to only one radio set, you must tune into only one station. And it is the same thing. You must be with God. You must be with your inner self or your higher being, or you'll be on your own to create discord. And so wake up and let us begin to take this truth and put them into our life. Your entire life is the microcosm of the universe. The universe is governed by laws, but not by morals and all these things that we talk of. And therefore, if the universe is governed by law and there is perfection in the universe, for you to have perfection, beauty, and all the good things in your life, then you must look for the law and obey them. And the laws are worked on our thinking, our thoughts, and emotions. So long as we are attentive to our emotions, we are able to guide ourselves into the path of our inner being. For you know how negative emotion is, and you know how positive emotion is. Therefore, when you are feeling negatively, know that it is a message to you that you are moving away from your source. You are moving away from your inner being, and therefore you don't have power. You don't have the resources to create the beautiful and the wonderful thing that you desire. And the only sensible thing you have to do is to bring yourself back and then begin to work with your parent self. And it is just like the analogy or the parable that Jesus Christ gave in the Bible with the prodigal son. When the prodigal son wandered away and he came back to his senses that, no, there are plenty in my father's house, so I will go back. And when he returned, he was welcomed with a beautiful and a great ceremony. In the same way, your inner being, God, and the laws of the universe are static. They will never change. They are ready. And so long as we play ourselves into their fold and be aligned with all of this, especially our inner being in thinking, then we will see all that we desire in our life. Your life will move from glory to glory, for you are co-creating with the most great and the powerful forces in the universe. So you are co-creator with God, and you are a creator of your own realities. Nothing is by fate. Nothing is by faith, but it is by attraction. The law of attraction is the overruling law that pairs us or arrange circumstances and situations in our life to complete our creation. So seek the knowledge and understanding about the laws of the universe. I can only give an overview of this, but there are a lot of laws. The basic ones, or the ones that are more common, that is the law of attraction. And so seek understanding of the law of attraction. Seek understanding of who you are, how you operate, both in the physical and the non-physical. And then always make it your determination, your desire, your preoccupation to make your two sides, your inner or your non-physical and your physical side. Then you become one. And that is, you say you are a complete human being who is thriving in all adversities, creating your own reality as you choose to think. For you think in secret, and it comes to pass in the open. That is my message for you. Now, may the overshadowing presence of God that keeps the stars in the open such that they do not fall on us, and keeps the planets in their various orbits such that they do not clash with one another, but there is perfect harmony. Keep and guide you and bring this harmony into your life such that you will walk hand in hand with your parent self, such that you will co-create with yourself beautiful and wonderful experiences in your life. Then you share it with the humanity, and that is how we can make a world a better place. But the fact is, we can never have a perfect world. If we have a perfect world, then it means we are coming to an end. But there is nothing that is ending. We are eternal beings, and therefore there will never be an end, and there will never be a final solution to our challenges. One thing leads to the other, but when it comes, and identify it, define it as the contrast of life, and use it as the clay or the mortar and brick to build a beautiful and a wonderful life to the glory of the presence of God that you are made of. Thank you, and God bless you.